Coming up on UT Today, a wrap-up of Governor Haslam's State of the State address and some of the topics he tackled. Also ahead, UT's new Student Health Center has seen a lot of business already this year with the recent flu outbreak. We'll tell you how you can make an appointment at the new center without even picking up the phone. And we take a look inside one of Knoxville's most popular night spots after the recent nightclub fire in Brazil that killed over 200 people. Hello, I'm Jackie Del Pilar. Thanks for joining us today. Education is the first priority for Governor Haslam this year, and UT could be seeing some big changes. Anna Patterson has the story.
From tuition to salaries to energy conversion, Governor Haslam has included it all in his 2013 budget for Tennessee. And the University of Tennessee has many changes to come.
Well, we're very excited. I think his ability to say he's going to fully fund the CCTA formula for the first time is a powerfully good thing. It's particularly good for Knoxville, and it's not bad for Chattanooga or Martin either, our traditional undergraduate campuses. The capital outlay money that he's put in the program, including the stuff for the steam plant here to convert it from coal to gas. Major project over in Memphis from the standpoint of remodeling a building for their campus for particularly science and basic science research. The salary increase that he's talking about for state employees is real good too. So we were very excited and positive about it.
Not only University of Tennessee President Dr. Joe DiPietro is excited about the changes, students are looking forward to Governor Haslam's proposed tuition increase cap at 6% for four-year schools.
I would like to graduate with no student loans, but it's kind of at the point where I'm thinking about it. It's stressful.
It's definitely easier on my mind and easier for my parents who helped me pay for my college, that we know it's only going to be a little bit more each year, but we still hope that eventually it'll be the same price the whole time.
And President DiPietro says the university believes this will not have negative effects.
While we've had heftier tuition increases the last couple years, being able to work with a 6% rate, so long as we can convince the legislature to continue to maintain support for the governor's budget on the CCTA formula monies that pay for performance, we'll be okay.
He says with better affordability, Governor Haslam might come closer to his goal of graduating 55% of students from post-secondary schools by 2025.
How you're able to graduate in a more timely fashion, it's good for the student, it's good for the institution, and it's good for the state.
But students aren't the only ones who can look forward to a better financial future. Governor Haslam proposed giving state employees a 1.5% cost of living raise. President DiPietro says the university believes merit should also be a part of deciding raises.
We have some gaps to close. We know we have gaps for lower incomed employees as well as people who make more money, and we're trying to close those everywhere. So while the COLA helps you in a cost of living adjustment, the market merit piece is another important part that we'll figure out whether we can put together or not this year.
Financial changes aren't the only ones University of Tennessee can expect. Governor Haslam announced his plans for bettering the Knoxville environment. The steam plant located on Lake Loudon Boulevard is the biggest cause of pollution in Knoxville. Haslam's goal? Converting the 52-year-old plant into a natural gas facility. President DiPietro says especially for people with allergies, this conversion will be very beneficial.
If you haven't had allergies, if you come to East Tennessee, you'll probably get them. So I think that the ability to take our plant and convert it to a greener enterprise is a great thing. Gas is not only a cleaner burning fuel, but it's also more cost effective.
President DiPietro says he feels very lucky to work in a state that focuses on higher education. For UT Today, I'm Anna Patterson.
Although no specific date is set for the steam plant to be converted, the tuition cap and pay raises would take place for the next school year. The University of Tennessee has been making numerous changes for its Top 25 initiative. Rachel Downs checked out how the Student Health Center has combined all student health services into one large facility.
For more than 100 years, the Health Center has been assisting students at the University of Tennessee. Within the past year, the center has experienced an upgrade to a much larger facility. Counseling Director Victor Barr and Assistant Director Connie Briscoe have high hopes for the new building.
We actually started working on the plans for the building about 2003, 2004. And several years of planning before they broke ground for the building.
Flu season is among us. Whether students are using computers after one another, using the bathroom after one another, or just touching the same door handles, sickness is being spread all around the university. Students rely on efficient health care.
I know of plenty of people that have, been clearly sick at the moment, but they couldn't get them back because they didn't have an appointment, and all they did was send them to some walk-in clinics.
To be supposed to be such a convenience for UT students, it didn't end up being very convenient at all.
In other words, I would say I was wasting my time by even going to the old Student Health Center.
With the dissatisfaction in service from the old Student Health Center building, Dr. Barr and Dr. Briscoe anticipate that the new facility's advances in technology will please the student population.
We have been able to move more reliably over to doing stuff via computers, so when students come in, they're able to check in at the front desk and then go into a room where they can sit down and fill out all the, what used to be paperwork, and have it all computerized.
Upon transition to the new Student Health Center building, the online website has had a makeover of its own. In the past, students have expressed an issue with long lines and walk-ins, not being able to be seen for hours, or busy tone when they're trying to call. So the Student Health Center has tried to make it easier by allowing an online login. You just go to studenthealth.utk.edu, click on Online Student Health Portal, and it's going to give you an option to type in your NetID and password. Now the question is, will this help? For TVC, I'm Rachel Downs.
For the first time in Student Health Center history, a pharmacy opened in early February to provide more of a convenience to UT students. Country music singer Mindy McCready was found dead Sunday on the front porch of her Arkansas home. Arkansas authorities believe she died by suicide, but are still investigating the cause. Her death comes just weeks after the death of her music producer boyfriend, David Wilson. Before McCready met Wilson, she was involved in a nasty custody battle over one of her children. The singer, who battled addiction and mental illness, admitted herself into a psychiatric facility following Wilson's death.
She became so fearful of the stigma and the way people were responding to her being hospitalized that she actually checked herself out prematurely, and now we have what we have.
McCready leaves behind a 6-year-old son and a 10-month-old son. After the death of hundreds of people in a Brazilian nightclub fire, many students have been concerned about their safety in crowded bars. I took a look to see if Knoxville nightlife has its guest safety in mind. On a typical weekend in Knoxville, UT students pack local bars and nightclubs looking for a good time. But with hundreds of people crowding a bar at once, should students feel safe joining in? Trevor Hill, owner of the popular bar, The Hill, says an average of 700 people visit his bar on a weekend, with numbers reaching thousands on occasion.
Most I've ever seen come through the door, I'd say 1,800 people. I'd say the most I've ever seen try to get in here at one time would be right around 1,000.
Despite the large volume of people, Trevor says crowd safety isn't an issue in his facility.
Here, it's not nearly as big an issue as a lot of other places because the biggest thing is obviously fire, but there's nothing to burn. So, not without some jet fuel anyway.
Trevor says his building is up to code, complete with a sprinkler system and well-established exits. He also takes special measure to make room for the masses.
During the day, we'll do more of a restaurant sit-down style, but at night on a really busy night, if there are no tables and chairs in here, nowhere to sit down, nothing to impede traffic, we'll put a lot more people in here.
The Hill is cautious about reaching its capacity level of around 800 people and makes sure it never gets out of hand.
We do go one in, one out, which means, obviously we hold the line, and one person goes, it can come in as soon as one person leaves. Everybody complains, but it's just a safety issue.
Students should have no worries with fire issues and crowd control at local bars, but should always remain cautious while they're out. For UT Today, I'm Jackie Del Pilar. Students should always use caution when going out to such crowded venues, but it's reassuring to know that some places such as the Hill make safety a high priority. As one of the last SEC schools to have sorority houses, the University of Tennessee completed the first of 3 phases of Sorority Village this past August. After a reported incident in November, reporter Emily Chastain took a look to see if the university has more than just construction to worry about.
University of Tennessee junior Kaylin Green lives at the Kappa Delta house. With school as her focus, safety is one thing she doesn't want to worry about. After an attempted assault reported in November, safety has been a concern for residents.
Nobody's going to feel completely safe until all of the houses are done.
7 houses have opened their doors, but the village still looks like a construction site. Although no other incidents have been reported, the construction seems to be the source of the concern. UTPD Sergeant Donnie Ross says the delays were unintended.
The plan was to get everything completed at the same time. It didn't work out through certain contracts.
The university is making progress.
As promised, UT is adding additional security features here at Sorority Village, such as the blue light emergency systems.
Students press the call button to request a shuttle ride or press the push for help button to connect directly to a 911 dispatcher. Kaylin has to swipe her ID to enter the building and her bedroom. Also, a traffic signal was installed at the village entrance to accommodate residents. Students receive text alerts if something happens on campus and now in Sorority Village. And the fence that surrounds the village is almost complete. UTPD is keeping an eye out as well.
There's a UTPD car on site at all times, so if something were to happen, I know that they'd be there.
UT Greek women are not the only people in Sorority Village. Residents are encouraged to walk to their cars and houses with others since there are construction workers present.
Security feeling is not exactly there. I think, once everything gets set and in place, it's going to make it a lot more comfortable.
The projected completion date is late next summer. For UT Today, I'm Emily Chastain.
UT believes that with the completion of the construction at Sorority Village, a student's safety will no longer be in question. Sergeant Ross urges students to not hesitate to call UTPD if there's any suspicious activity in Sorority Village. The university is also prepared to implement additional security features if needed. Race car driver Danica Patrick made history Sunday when she became the first woman to win the pole position for the Daytona 500. This season is Patrick's first full-time season in NASCAR's Sprint Cup Series and only her 11th time in the Sprint Cup race overall. She will start front row in the Daytona 500 race alongside Jeff Gordon February 24th. Patrick also has a UT connection because her sister Brooke is a graduate of the university. Earlier this week, UT Today reporter Sammy Kincaid had the opportunity to sit down with University of Tennessee kicker Michael Pilardi, and she was able to talk to him about last year's difficult season.
University of Tennessee kicker Michael Pilardi faces negativity from not only media, but diehard fans after a tough season. But this negativity is not new to Pilardi.
Us as kickers and punters, it's definitely different from any other position, because when you're out on the field, they're only focusing on you, and they don't get what they want. If they don't get the production they want, if you miss a field goal or hit a bad punt or something like that, it's tough.
Hitting field goals is easy for Pilardi. The hardest task comes with the game day adrenaline.
I know for me personally, I just kind of try and stay calm and not try and get my heart rate up, because once I run out of that field, my heart is already racing, so I try to keep it to a minimum. And I kind of come out here before everybody else and warm up, and that's kind of, everybody has their different ways of getting focused and preparing for the game in the locker room.
Along with game day comes tradition.
UT Traditions is the backbone of Tennessee. Everybody knows Tennessee for their orange and white.
But tradition goes further than colors when preparing in the locker room.
The game maxims are something that General Nealon brought to the university when he was here. Basically, they're steps and fundamentals to a football game.
And the locker room traditions would not be complete without the traditional hit on the state of Tennessee.
We hit it right when we come out of the locker room after we are done saying our maxims. And it's just a symbol of leaving it all out in the field for Tennessee, not just the fans that are there to watch us, but the whole state.
Michael Pilardi does all he can as he vows to be a Vol for life. For UT Today, this is Sammy Kincaid.
Pilardi plans on working with the other seniors during the spring semester to focus on bringing back the tradition of the Big Orange Pride once again. Thanks for watching UT Today. I'm Jackie Del Pilar. Have a good evening.